Shalom everyone, this is Chazak Eliyahu Yasharal and welcome to another of our videos. Today we are going to look at the question, what was the color of the children of Yasharal in the Bible? And before we begin, let me just give a disclaimer. I am not a racist. I don't believe that Gentiles do not have access to salvation. Don't believe that we are doing this because we hate people of a skin shade. And we also do not believe that all Israelites are black, right? We don't believe that all Israelites are black. It's just that the truth is what we seek. When you come to this channel, it's all about the truth, even to our own hurt. It is the truth because we cannot make it into the kingdom if we are not speaking the truth. So we have been given many lies from the Gentiles, many lies. As the children of Israel have been in captivity, the Gentiles having access to everything, the time of the Gentiles, they have twisted and they have lied. And now we are in an awakening. It's time for us to wake up to the truth. I'm going to put out the truth today. The truth. That's what it is. The truth. So 40 years in the wilderness, the children of Israel spent. And the question is, can a Caucasian survive 40 years in the wilderness? Because all of their movies they have showed people leaving Egypt, Moses white, Aaron white, everybody white, Noah white, Job white, everybody white. Could they have survived 40 years in the wilderness? We know about the period of the Renaissance when all the paintings, etc., were whitewashed. There was a period, they call it the rebirth of learning, but it was a whitewashing of world. And so the question, can a Caucasian survive 40 years in the wilderness? There is an article here on, it's a medical article on a website called familydoctor.org that speaks about how the skin survives in the sun. And it says epidermis cells contain a pigment or dye called melanin. People with light skin have less melanin than dark-skinned people. This is why very fair-skinned people burn easier. So they burn easily. So how could they have survived 40 years in the wilderness? Now, melanin protects our skin and also creates vitamin D. When your body defends itself against UV rays, your skin tans or darkens. Too much sun exposure allows UV rays to reach your inner skin layers. You know this as sunburn. This can cause skin cells to die, damage, or develop cancer. All right? So for Charlton Heston to survive 40 years in the wilderness, that would be in the sun, that would be unthinkable. And the reason we have to actually pay attention to ensure that we are not partakers of lies. King David said in Psalm 31:18, let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Lying lips will speak grievous things and they will speak proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Because you know that people of our skin color are despised by the proud of this earth. Many of them coming to the Most High saying that they are believers, but having total disdain for his people. And we recently did a video on our Just a Word weekly Sabbath teaching, speaking about the corrupt Gentile salvation, and that includes part of it, how the Gentiles thinking that they are saved and are rejecting his people and neglecting his people and wanting to do nothing with his people. When his people speak, they try to shut them up when they speak about who they are. That is suicide. Proverbs 10 verse 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. So many of them, they actually do hate our people. We also did a video some time back that shows that they did a survey and they said white Christians are more racist than even the average non-believer. That's how racist they are. So that is why they try to hide us. Christianity is a racist religion. And that is why the head of major Christian organization is a Caucasian, is a white man. All right? Catholic, Presbyterian, Baptist, Methodist, Seventh day Adventist, Pentecostal, the highest level you will find a Caucasian. It is a racist religion. So we were speaking about the danger of lying. The danger of lying. And for that, we have to go to Revelation 21:27. The danger of lying. Now, this is speaking about entering the kingdom, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Anything that defiles nor work abomination. And we know lying lips are an abomination unto Allah. So if you lie, you cannot enter the kingdom. And it says, if you make a lie, you cannot enter the kingdom as well. So that is why we are here in relentless pursuit of truth here on Just a Word. And we make people miserable at all times with the truth, and sometimes make ourselves miserable with the truth. But guess what? We have no choice. We have to seek truth right to the very end, because it's the truth that will be the ticket for us to enter the kingdom. Revelation 22:15. This is speaking about the kingdom again. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So if we love a lie, if we even love a lie, if it's even a lie that the truth has been brought to us and we refuse to accept the truth, then we will love the lie. We can't enter the kingdom. And if we make a lie, we know making a lie is creating a lie, then we can't enter the kingdom. But even loving the lie. All right, so that is the basis on which we do our teaching today. Not on any bias or anything. It is just the lie and the truth. All right, so did you know that there is this race thing? The Most High hid it in scriptures. He hid it. Why? Because it is for the time of the end. He knew what would happen, and he knew that race would figure in the end. And so it says in Romans 11:25, blindness in part has happened to Yasharal until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. So he didn't want the truth to come out until the fullness of the Gentiles. Now our 400-year captivity is over. He is revealing the truths to us little by little. And these truths were hidden. Because he said, if you seek me, you shall find me, if you shall search for me with all your heart. So the truth is hidden in his scriptures. And it's time for it to come out. We go to the book of Vaikra or Leviticus 13:29, speaking about when there is leprosy. This is going to show it up, all right? Because we know the color of our hair, usually consistent, all right? Very few variations. And we know the color of the hair of the people who claim to be the people of the book. So let's see. Leviticus 13:29. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scald, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. So yellow thin hair is very, very unusual. It is a sign that someone is unclean. Now, who has yellow thin hair? And if the priests look upon the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that, listen to this, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the skull 7 days. So it's a requirement for it to have black hair. Who has black hair? And who does not have black hair? The people who are claiming to be the people of the book, the color of their hair varies. All right? It is not always black. This is saying that the hair, for a person to be clean, the black hair has to be in it. Let's continue. And in the seventh day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut up him that hath the skull 7 days more. Let's go to 37. But if the skull in his sight at a stay, and that there is black hair grown up therein, and that there is black hair, the skull is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. The only way you're clean is if it grows back black hair. It's very profound here. All right? That alone says it all. And no, 38. If a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots. No, this is another set. This is another revealing thing, all right? You got to look into these two verses, 38 and 39. Very profound. I don't think many people have gone into the depths of these. If a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots. What color? White bright spots. Then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. Freckled spot. This freckled spot is dark white, bright white spots. Bright spots. Freckled spot. Now we know about freckles. We know about Caucasians having freckles. Let's look at the meaning of that freckled spot there. And it is the Hebrew bohak, from an unused root, meaning to be pale, white scarf, freckled spot. To be pale. Now, it is a freckled spot. But this, if we look do a search online for freckles, what we are going to see is dark spots. But these spots here are white spots. Okay? So the white spots, they would not show up on white people. The white spots show up on black people. These freckles are white spots, not dark spots. So this is not speaking about Caucasians. These are speaking about Negroes. Go and check it out. Then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. So there we go. The hair and the skin here described as being those of black people. In the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30, Job said, my skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. That burned with heat there refers to color. My skin is black upon me. And that black there that was used in Job is very unique because it's used only one time in the scripture. And it is the Hebrew shachar, which a primitive root rather identical with 838, through the idea of duskiness of early dawn, to be dim or dark, in color, be black. So Job is telling you that he was a black man. So when you see Job being portrayed in movies as a white man, that is a blatant lie. And we need to call it out, you, the Gentiles, because if you love the lie, because we, the Negroes, we don't love the lie. Yes? But you love the lie because you continue to perpetrate it in your movies, in your magazines. Jehovah's Witness magazine, almost all white people. Seventh-day Adventists have their magazines, white people. Everywhere you go, white people being represented as the people in the book. It is a lie. And we'll continue to show up this lie. So we go to a more complex one. The book of the Songs of Solomon is a very deep book. Very, very deep. And in the book of Songs of Solomon, he tells you, he speaks about being black and comely. Now, it sounds as if it is a woman that is speaking, but we have to understand that Suleiman or Solomon wrote this in reference to the Most High. It is written metaphorically and allegorically. So he's speaking about the Most High here. He's speaking about Judah. He's speaking allegorically, not literally about a woman. So let's go to the Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, starting at verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. It is Solomon's song. It is like he's writing a poem. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. So the bride confesses her love for the groom. This is allegorically speaking about the king, the Messiah, Yahusha, who was to come. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee. And this brings us to the parable of the virgins. 5 virgins, 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. And this is, of course, the 5 wise who had their lamps trimmed, and they were brought into the chambers. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. Of course, it is the upright who love the Messiah Yahusha, those who keep the commandments of Alua and the faith of Yahusha, the emunah of Yahusha. And verse 5 says, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tent of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. I am black but comely. And the black there is Shakor, from 838, properly dusky, but also absolutely jetty black. Black, very black. All right? So I am black but beautiful. It's the same thing that I say, I am black and I am beautiful. That's what it is saying here. And it says, as the curtains of Solomon. Solomon is speaking metaphorically and allegorically. So it seems to sound as if it is someone speaking about the curtains of Solomon. It is Solomon that is speaking. And in verse 6, it tells us that this that he's talking about is Judah. This is referring to Judah. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. This is speaking of the house of Judah. It is telling you smartly that the house of Judah is black. How do we know it is Judah? Because the sun had looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. Judah and the house of Israel, the house of Judah and the house of Israel were always at loggerheads, always at war. Their mother's children, Yasharal's children, were angry with Judah. They made Judah the keeper of the vineyards. It was Judah where you have Jerusalem, where the temple was. So the temple was in Judah. Judah was made the keeper of the vineyards. But Judah did not keep his own vineyards, because the word tells us that Judah went back, followed the house of Israel into transgression. All right, so that is why we are here today. The house of Judah has been scattered because they did not keep their own vineyard. So it is telling you that Judah is black. All right. Lamentations 5:10-11. This is speaking about when Judah went into captivity and was lamenting because of the captivity. Lamentations 5:10-11. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Our skin was black like an oven. Now, when you're hungry, the skin can become darker. As a matter of fact, it's a symptom of pre-diabetes when you see people getting darker. And the Caucasian skin cannot become black like an oven. This black here is an extreme black, like an oven. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Yehuda. It is speaking of Yehuda, of Judah. Judah is black. Lamentations 4, 7 to 8. Now, here is a couple. These are tricky verses that when you tell people about the children of Yasharal being black, they throw these verses at you. Lamentations 4:7. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. So they were saying that this is referring to color. But if you look at the next verse, it says their visage, their appearance is blacker than a coal. So it's actually telling you that the previous verse is not actually referring to their skin color, but their circumstances. Yes? Not their skin color. So their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered and it is become like a stick. Once again, they are hungry and everything, so their skin becomes darker. So in the Christian Standard Bible version, it says her dignitaries were brighter than snow, whiter than milk. Their bodies were more ruddy than coral. Their appearance like lapis lazuli. So searching for lapis lazuli, and we'll see what it produces. Now we have a similar account in the Song of Solomon, verses 10 to 11, where just like this, where it appears their circumstances and then gives their appearance, is going to do that again. Look at it here. Song of Solomon 5:10 to 11. My beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. So this would appear as if it's saying, hey, my beloved is white. He's a white man. Yes? But the next verse tells you what a race that person belongs to. That he's a Negro. His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy and black as a raven. Whose hair is bushy and black as a raven? Do a Google search of bushy black hair and you'll see what comes up. Let's see if any Caucasian hair comes up. So one people whose locks are bushy and black as a raven. People who are melanated. Okay? So that shows you that the verse before is speaking of their circumstances. White and ruddy. Their circumstances, referring to them sparkling in splendor and looking grand. All right? So, speaking of hair, let's go to Daniel 7 verse 9 to see the hair of the Most High. If we are to see it, what will he manifest himself as? Because in the book of Habereshith, he said he made man in his own image. Daniel 7 verse 9, that means his people, his children, will be in his own image, the children of Yasharal. Daniel 7:9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels are as burning fire. So the Most High's hair on his head were like the pure wool. Do a Google search for pure wool or hair like pure wool, and you will see what that shows up, because we have to know that even though we are living manifestations of all of this, people still will not believe until they actually do searches of it and see. All right? Now, the Most High had a son, and so like father, like son, and his son was of the tribe of Yehuda. And his son's mother was a Levite. His father was from the tribe of Yehuda. And what did his son look like? That we need to see. Revelation 1:13 to 15. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. White like wool. So many people look at this and say, he didn't say his hair was woolly, it was white like wool, but his father's hair was like the pure wool. So this is actually telling you the same thing. He had the hair like his father, but it was white. Yes? As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And we know whose eyes get like a flame of fire at times. Our people. Revelation 1:15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. This is what the Messiah looked like. The Mashiach had hair like wool, white like wool, and his feet were a dark brown. He was a black man. But all these were hidden because many people, you tell them this and they didn't know. All of this was hidden until we were awakened. And why? Because everything that is playing out in the end is race. The beast of seven heads, all 6 out of the 7 are white. The other one is Japan, who is Asian. All of them white. NATO, 29 countries in NATO that is leading the world, the greatest alliance in the history of the world. They say 29 countries, all 29 are white countries. These are the people leading the world into the new world order. So the world in the end is dividing. As much as we want to play hypocrite and say, oh, I'm not, no race. We're all equal. No, we're not all equal. The Most High chose a people above all people. And we're telling you what the people look like. All right? Race is going to divide the world in the end. So when we are awakened, the Most High awakens us to the impact and the importance of knowing who you are, because he is coming back for a poor and afflicted people. Who are a poor and afflicted in this world? Is it the Caucasians? No. The Caucasians were born with gold spoons in their mouth, as we say here in Jamaica. So they were born with privileges. They are not a poor and afflicted people. There's a dark-skinned people, melanated people. The Negroes are those people. Okay? So, it spoke about the Messiah from the tribe of Yehuda. Masha, Moses
said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was
Moses was a Levite. Let's see. Numbers 26:58. These are the family of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Mahlites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites. And Kohath begat Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt. And she bare unto Amram Aaron and Moses and Miriam, their sister. Moses was a Levite. So we have the Messiah from Judah, black. We have Moses being a Levite. But we have another tribe. And by the way, these 3 tribes are the tribes among which we were scattered here in Jamaica and in United States, Central America, South America. These three tribes that we're showing you today. Shaul mistaken for an Egyptian. Acts 21:37. And as Shaul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days madest an uproar, and leddest out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? There, Apostle Shaul is being mistaken for an Egyptian. But who was Shaul? What tribe was he from? Romans 11, verse 1. I say then, hath Allah cast away his people? Allah forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin or Benjamin. Shaul mistaken for an Egyptian. Shaul was of the tribe of Benjamin. And as I said, Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, these are the tribes that populate the Western Hemisphere, scattered in the last scattering, the last captivity. And as we see here, these were the Negroes. So people trying to discount us as the people of the book and reading Deuteronomy 28 are liars. Because when you read Deuteronomy 28 and see precepts like these, you realize who we are. You realize that it is us, and that they are lying by lining up those Caucasians in that place, saying that they are the people of the book, who bear no resemblance to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, which actually tells us who the children are of Israel are in captivity.
And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him.
All right? So, as we said before, the reason we do this is lies. We have to show the truth. We cannot be partakers of lies. So we go back to the danger of lying. And we end in the book of Revelation 22:15. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. If you love a lie, you cannot enter the kingdom. This lie has been a lie of the Gentiles to perpetuate white supremacy in order to get them to control the minds and the hearts of the people of the world, to let them people of the world believe that they are the chosen people of the Most High, to let people worship them and to worship their gods, to let people follow them, to let them have a hold over the minds of the people. But it is a lie. The challenge is, these people, these disadvantaged people of the world, are you as a Gentile willing to join yourselves to them? I suggest you watch our video, The Corrupted Gentile Salvation. That video will show you that your salvation is inextricably linked to you joining yourselves to these people. And that is a challenge. It's always humility and meekness with the Most High. What does he say? The meek shall inherit the earth. Are you humble enough? Are you meek enough to come down to the level of his disadvantaged people, his nobodies? Join yourselves to them. Help them in whatever way you can. Partake of their sufferings. Are you willing? Share in their burdens. Are you willing to do that? That is a challenge that is upon our Gentile friends. All right? For our people, stand up and be strong. Don't feel downcast. Don't feel ashamed of who you are, because our people are so ashamed of how we are. This lie has made our people not know who we are and made us believe that these Anglo-Saxons, these Caucasians are superior to us. And so we so want to be like them and look like them that we bleach out our skin. We put in false hairs to look like them, with hair flowing down to look like them, ashamed of who we are. We need to repent. We need to repent and turn to the Most High. We are the people of a book. We are the people of the book. A people who the Most High said he set apart unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. We are the people of the book, the beloved of the Most High. The Negroes, we are the people of the book. Regarding the other 10 tribes, and regarding the complexion, our people have been scattered. The northern 10 tribes have been scattered for years. They're going to intermix and intermingle with other people. Likewise, our people have intermixed and intermingled with other people. The seed will still be there of varying shades of brown. But the house of Israel is going to look more like the other nations because of the length of time. From 720 odd BC, they have been in Assyria, and then they have vanished. Some we know have gone down into the continent we call Africa, but of course some would have gone north and have been dispersed in that area. We are not saying that all Israelites are black. We are saying that the people of the book are black. As to how we will look today, we will look varying shades of brown. We might even look like those other people and be mistaken. And people think that these people we might think are Caucasians have actually the seed of Israel in them. All right. But the truth is the truth. And that is what we highlight today. All right. This is Kazakh Eliyahu Yasharal here once again with another video. Please like, comment, and share. Most importantly, share, please. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe as we continue to give you these videos telling you the truth of the scriptures as it is revealed unto us, or as the Most High directs us to speak, so do we speak. All right, until next time, shalom. All right.